of the quadratic formula, 9.9 quadratic formula. So we're going to use the same quadratic equation that was over on the left-hand side for now the quadratic formula. So the way that we say this is x is equal to the opposite of b, or sometimes it's said negative b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and all of it is divided by 2 times a. So we've already identified what a, b, and c are over here, so we're just going to recopy those numbers down over on the other side. So a is 1, b is 5, and c is 6. And now we're just literally going to substitute a, b, and c in where they go right here. And automatically, once we solve this, it's going to tell us what our zeros are. So x equals the opposite of our b. Well, b is 5, so the opposite of that then is a negative 5. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. So b is 5. I'm going to put it inside parentheses because I'm going to square it here in a minute. Minus 4 times my a times my c. My a is 1, my c is 6. So 1 and 6. And then all of this is divided by 2 times my a, which is 1. And now we're just going to simplify it, and you'll need a calculator for this. So x is equal to, there's nothing we can do with this negative 5 at this point, so just negative 5 plus or minus square root 5 squared. So 5 times 5, 25. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. So minus 24. All divided by 2 times 1 is 2. Keep simplifying it. X equals negative 5. Still can't do anything with it. Plus or minus square root 25 minus 24. 1 all over 2. Okay, now we need to simplify square root of 1. So the way we can put that in our calculator is the second button and the x squared button, because notice above the x squared is that square root symbol. 1, close it up, equals 1. So x equals negative 5 plus or minus 1, the square root symbol is now gone because you solved for it, divided by 2. Now, this is where this plus and minus comes into play. So we're going to write two equations here, just like we got 2 zeros over here. We're going to get 2 zeros over here now. So x is equal to negative 5 plus 1 divided by 2. That's our first equation. And then our second equation, negative 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So negative 5 plus 1, negative 4 over 2, which then simplifies to negative 2. So x is negative 2. That's our first zero. And negative 5 minus 1, that's negative 6. Oops, kind of ran out of room there. Negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. So x is negative 3, which was the same answers that we got when we solved it using the diamond method. So just another way of solving these. Okay, let's look down below here for number 2. So a was 1, b was negative 11, and C was 18. So X is equal to opposite of B. Well, B is negative 11, so the opposite of a negative 11 is positive 11, plus or minus square root of B squared, put it in parentheses, minus 4 times A times our C. A is 1, C is 18, all divided by 2 times our A, which is 1. So now let's simplify. X is equal to 11 plus or minus square root. So in your calculator, this is why I said put it in parentheses. So negative 11 squared 121. If you don't put it in parentheses, you're going to end up getting a negative 121, and that is incorrect because a negative times a negative is a positive. So 121, negative 4 times 1 times 18, negative 72, all divided by 2. Okay, 121 minus 72, we get 49. So X is equal to 11 plus or minus square root of 49 all over 2. Square root of 49 is 7, but again, to put it in your calculator, second button, X squared button, 49, 7. So X is equal to 11 plus or minus 7 all over 2. So our two equations, 11 plus 7 divided by 2. And our second equation, 11 minus 7 divided by 2. Okay, 11 plus 7 is 18. Divided by 2 is 9. So X is equal to 9. And 11 minus 7 is 4 over 2 is 2. So X is equal to 2. Which is what we got over here, 2 and 9. Okay, on the next page, A was 2, B was 11, C was 5. And when you do the quadratic formula, you don't have to worry about taking out a greatest common factor. So you'll see down in the next one, I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, so X is equal to the opposite of B. So B is 11, so negative 11 plus or minus square root B squared, so 11 squared minus 4 times A of 2. C is 5. All of this divided by 2 times A, which is 2. Start simplifying this. X is equal to negative 11 plus or minus square root 11 times 11, 121. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 5, negative 40. All divided by 2 times 2 is 4. X equals negative 11 plus or minus square root 121 minus 40, 81. X equals negative 11 plus or minus square root of 81 is 9 over 4. First equation, negative 11 plus 9 divided by 4. Second equation, negative 11 minus 9 divided by 4. Negative 11 plus 9, negative 2 over 4 reduces to negative 1/2. Negative 11 minus 9, negative 20. Sorry, my brain's starting to shut down tonight. Yeah, negative 20 over 4, negative 5, which were the same two